Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of The Next Stage. My name is John Jacobs, and with me, as always, Vance Daniels.
Hello.
How are you doing, Vance?
I'm doing great today, John. How are you?
Oh, doing great. I'm really excited for the show we have set up for everybody today.
I mean, it's an exciting show. We're going to talk about one of our favorite movies of all time. One of the greatest movies of all time.
A blockbuster. A summer blockbuster.
One of the worst-rated Metacritic films of all time. That being, and you might tell from the use of Dutch angles to begin here, Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield Earth, folks. We're doing it.
The story of Johnny Goodboy, the greener, who is trying to find greener space, or the grass is going greener. No one ever really explained why the fuck greener was a term that they used, but we're gonna the story of Barry Pepper as Johnny Goodboy, the story of John Travolta as Terrell, the terrifying cyclo overseer of the prison
Overlord,
mining camp. Not real explanation of why they're really there. Let's dive right into that. Let's talk about this cast.
So, before we talk about the cast, I saw this film in the theater.
Oh, God. Oh.
Aaron, I saw it in the theater.
Wow.
Opening night. Because I thought it was going to be good.
Were there Scientologists there signing people up, or were they selling Dianetics?
There might have been a Dianetics booth there with people giving live e-meters.
Check your Thetan levels.
There might have been one of those Scientology propaganda videos that played right before the movie. The crowd was actually pretty full in the theater that I was in. Look, this movie's terrible. I'm gonna defend certain parts of it, but this is a terrible movie, and everybody knows it. Almost everyone's seen it. Look, the concept as a shell, as an outline written on a piece of paper from a writer, it's not too bad, right? A more advanced, intelligent race comes to Earth, and they're not friendly. They wipe us out because they want to strip the planet of natural resources and move on, and they pretty much reverse intelligent. I'm creating words here, guys. Sorry.
Intelligence devolves in humankind.
Intelligent de-evolves, kind of like in the Mario Brothers movie, where they stick people in that machine and they de-evolve. And then they use us as slaves, and so that concept,
it's pretty common,
is very sci-fi. It's pretty common. So when I heard about it, I could get on board, and now we lead into the actors, right? So who are some for you?
Well, you have to remember Barry Pepper.
Yeah, and, we like Barry Pepper. He was a likable actor.
Really came on in Saving Private Ryan. It was a role that everyone loved him in.
He was my favorite character. I felt so bad when the tank took him out in the bell tower.
Yeah.
Oh, because he was just sniping people left and right. I'll tell you,
Get out of here!
Oh man, that was the hardest death for me in that entire movie was Barry Pepper, man.
Right.
Oh, that hurt me in that one.
He was a young actor on the come up, and that career that was speeding along hit a speed bump called Battlefield Earth, and it's never recovered since then. Really, the only person who recovered was Forrest Whitaker, who played Chief Terrell's right-hand man and flunky / I don't know. I don't even really way to describe him, because there was no bonding, there was no relationship between the two.
Well, I don't think the Cyclos have much of a relationship with each other. They're just always trying to one-up each other and screw each other over for profit or get leverage off of each other. You know, leverage.
There are so many terms that are reused in the film. Leverage is one of them. Gain leverage over a filthy man animal. Such a great term. Like, again, this was bad science fiction writing. This was bad science fiction all the way around. Man-animal. It's hyphenated. Just so you know, man-animal.
Now, who is the guy that came down to talk shit to John Travolta when he wasn't producing results?
Yeah, the overseer. I don't remember the character's name.
It was like his boss.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was trying to get Terrell was trying to talk his way out of getting off Earth, so he could get a better posting.
Right, he wanted a better position.
And we were talking a little bit about how the characters always had a way of the cyclists had a way of talking, with the exception of Forrest Whitaker. He was the only one who could talk normally.
Yeah,
but everyone else had to talk like this for 50 cycles. Like the worst kind of like 1930s serial acting that you could ever get
So,
into.
do you think Forrest Whitaker had it in his contract that he didn't have to do that ridiculous accent? I mean, this is the man that was in Ghost Dog, which we both agree was a phenomenal film.
Ghost Dog, by the way.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, dude, we talked about Crying Game in the Samuel episode, so, you know, he was in that. I mean, and then you go all the way back to Cannon films when he was in Bloodsport, so...
You know, we have our director Aaron here, who's directed many fine films, and I'm just wondering if he ever ran into the same problems that the director of Battlefield Earth was having, was saying, you know, Forrest, can I get you to say it in a more halting kind of way? He's like, no.
No.
As soon as they... It's not that these guys didn't have talent. I mean, individually, John Travolta, Forrest Whitaker, Barry Pepper, they all had talent.
Right, individually, of course.
It was just such a terrible production, such a terrible story. John, I know you had some real issues with the storyline. Let's talk about some of those really big issues with the storyline that you had.
I did. It's incoherent nonsense. Okay?
And that's the best, that's putting it on a very high level. That's the best way to say
it. The passage of time is patently absurd. 1,000 years have passed since the Cyclos invaded.
Yes.
And we are at a, would you call it an apocalyptic Earth? Because I guess them destroying Earth was an apocalypse,
there was some issues with the environment, so I guess that's probably one of your keys for apocalypse.
The Cyclos are very proud of the fact that they decimated Earth's forces in merely 9 minutes.
Yeah, they had a timer on. Every time they attack a planet, they just put a timer on. They're trying to one each other, trying to get leverage over the other. But yes, that this attack happened. It was 1,000 years prior to the events in the movie, and yet somehow using the same technology, we assume that the Cyclos technology kept increasing over this 1,000-year period. Yet somehow this technology was used by the humans, their old technology, the 20th century technology, or 21st century, since it was a 2000 movie, to attack these same Cyclos.
Right. Which, that doesn't even make any sense. You can't say that the Cyclos decimated Earth forces in 9 minutes, but then have that exact same technology that's now 1,000 years old win the day at the end.
Right.
But there's more to unpack there. So one of my big things is the plot advancement, because for like an hour, it's just nothing but cyclopolitics and laughing and sitting in the bar and Travolta trying to get leverage on everyone and people shit talking him. And then meanwhile, we've got Barry Pepper trying to rally up the humans. And then Travolta gets impressed with Barry Pepper because he fights back, and this is exciting for Travolta for some reason.
It's a man-animal with potential that he could get leverage over.
He's a man-animal with potential. So he decides to take him to the learning machine where they beam a laser pointer in his brain and flood him with thousands of years of knowledge. And now he knows chemistry, he knows physics, he knows trigonometry, linguist, engineering. He knows all of these things. So he goes back to the mad animals, and now he doesn't have to go anymore when they're going to communicate with each other. Now he draws shit on the ground, and he draws out physics equations and trigonometry, and these mad animals who have grown up in the woods with nothing,
completely feral,
understand it.
Right. And in the course of a month, trains this cadre of cavemen, Neanderthals, whatever you want to call them, however you want to describe them, into a fighting force that is using advanced, to our time, advanced technology. The flight simulator that they find, which looked like a ride you could see at a fairground that your 5-year-old might be impressed in riding.
Yeah, remember those early 90s simulators where you would just a little drum that you sit in and it just would rock back and move.
It's like
like Star Tours at Disney, right? Star Tours.
Yes.
So Yeah. So okay. So we have this ragtag group of Neanderthals, basically, who have just been flooded with a PhD level of knowledge, and they retain it.
Here.
Okay, that's the movie, but the production. I mean, not only was the script doomed, not only was the acting doomed, not only was the story doomed, it's a story written by the man, L. Ron Hubbard, Mr. Scientologist, but the production was a sham, too.
Yeah.
Oh my god, who was the key grip in that movie?
The producers were sued. Apparently they were siphoning money in this whole deal. They made it was a $75 million production, but only $45 million was used in the production. There's all kinds of shady shit going on. All the cast complained about like food services and things like that. Nothing good was happening during this production.
All of the color saturations and all the
yes.
shots. So we had bright green, bright purple, and Aaron's favorite, piss yellow. And that was used for when they were outside in the natural Earth environment, right? And what, purple was what, inside the dome?
I think it was the cycloatmosphere.
Yeah, and then green was like the cages that they were kept in, and various other things.
You know, and we're going over the green gloop that prisoners were fed. You know, get the
the slop.
Yeah, you know, when you're fed by a hose, you know, there's always nothing but goodness being fed by a hose. You know, just open it up and just have that shit come flying out in this green slop gel that looks like a 1980s kids show where slime kids had to go through
like
slime.
Nickelodeon?
Like Nickelodeon, yeah. So basically it looks like they were eating that shit the whole time. But yeah, the color saturation, the use of Dutch angles, which we're proudly portraying today for the film.
Clearly the filmmakers had no concept of when and why to use a Dutch angle.
Yeah, Roger Ebert absolutely killed this. He put it on his list of most hated movies. Most hated movies. And, you know, we follow the Quentin Tarantino idea of there's always something in a movie that's good that you can work on. This one's a real struggle, man. I mean, Q probably has some ideas what really worked in this film. I don't know what the fuck they are. I'm really... Q, if you ever see the video, just let me know because I'm a big fan. Let me know. I'd like to see it.
Well, that about wraps up another episode of The Next Stage. Have you seen Battlefield Earth? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Drop us in a comment. Don't forget to press subscribe, like the video, share it, and we'll catch you next time.
I do what I can.
It's a joke.